And now, according to the CDC, over 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses last year. Almost 70% of those deaths involved synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Here locally, we've seen reports of more than 800 deaths. So we want to talk about this important issue. We have addiction expert and author Scott Silverman joining us. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning.
Now, you've been sober for many years, Scott, so let's talk about your experience to kind of help other people who may be watching right now. What did you go through? Shed light on this from someone who's been there.
Well, I've been sober now a little over 38 years, and I share that publicly because I think it's important for people to understand there is hope and help out there. And for me, I crashed and burned like many do, and I'm a retired, unlicensed pharmacist, so I was really in the thick of it back in the day, and I spend all of my time today, working with others to help families as a crisis coach and a family navigator to try to get their loved ones to the highest and best level of care. And being a native San Diegan, I'm very passionate about it, clearly, and this is my hometown, and I'm tired of going to funerals. I really don't want to go to any more funerals. So anything I can do to be a resource in the community, I try to do.
Yeah, 38 years sober. You have a lot of insight on this, important ways to help people. You wrote a book, Scott. You're also the CEO of an addiction program here in San Diego, this community you love so much. Tell us about that. What are you doing to help people who are struggling right now?
Well, first and foremost, Confidential Recovery is our outpatient program dealing with people with substance use disorders. The Veterans Navigation Center we've just launched. Our primary focus has been recently veterans, just because they're a hugely underserved population, and San Diego has the fourth largest population of veterans in the country, and half of them don't even have insurance. And I know as a previous homeless provider, there's a lot of veterans out there that are on the street, that are disenfranchised, and that are just kind of wandering around and, either don't want help, don't understand there is help, and we're going to try to help them as best we can. I try to do this whenever possible as a subject matter expert, and I give out my phone number, which is 619-993-2738. People ask me, why do you do that?
Wow.
Because if people don't call and we don't talk, I can't help. So I dare people to call me, 619-993-2738, Scott H. Silverman. You can Google me. And if there's anything that I can do to be a resource, and, our county and our city is working really hard, and we're seeing that. But at the end of the day, this decision to not only not make the choice, because one pill can kill, or to reach out when you have an issue going on in your family is not easy. I need help, three of the hardest words in the English language.
And your number's there for people to call and get that help. Scott, I'm curious from your perspective. Obviously, you talk to a lot of people about what they're dealing with, what they're seeing out there right now with opioids. Tell us what you're noticing. Why is this such a dangerous problem that we're seeing in San Diego?
Well, there's a two-prong issue that's going on right now. First of all, fentanyl is a synthetic opioid, and it's an illicit drug that's being manufactured with no quality assurance. The second prong part of it is the people that are manufacturing it are doing it in such a mass productive way, and they're sending it to our country and targeting America more than any other part of the world right now, because we are kind of a pill-oriented society, and it's easy to get hold of, and it's very inexpensive. We're seeing these major busts right now at our borders, and keep in mind, the DEA says their best day of the week, month, or year is they're capturing 10% of what's coming across.
Wow,
so when you see these big busts of, 2,200 pills or 2,200 tons, know that 10 times that has gotten through or is going to get through this same week. So the idea is, what do we do to stop this?
Right.
We can't look to the federal government. I'd like to say that our county can fix all this, but they don't have a magic wand. And law enforcement's working as fast as they can. And unfortunately, with the stigma around addiction, it's just not talked about. We have to treat this issue right now the same way we addressed COVID, because if we don't, that 100,000 figure you used from last year, by the way, those are the numbers of people who overdosed and died. There are close to 5 to 10 times that who overdosed and got lucky and got to an emergency department.
Right.
So the numbers are staggering, and fentanyl is poison. It's not a party drug.
No.
You take it, you more than likely have a high risk of dying.
All right, Scott, thank you for sharing your insight and for all the work you're doing here in town. Again, his number is right here. Reach out to Scott if you need that help. There are many programs available. We'll be right back.